Alright brothers, a long time ago, all the way back in the late 1990s, a young teenager by the name of Nicky G beheld and played Final Fantasy VII. Great game. You got that materia, you got all that fun stuff. Now on my first playthrough, I didn't even know about Vincent Valentine. Back then we didn't have the internet. I had to have a friend tell me about it. I missed him and Yuffie. Alright, once I got him though, I was enamored by the design, the cool factor. He was like a demon host from Warhammer 40k combined with a vampire who attacked with a big old handgun, his cool claw. The Dirge of Cerberus came out. He's out there slapping dudes with his claw, transforming into a demon named Chaos, and the Galleon Beast. So of course, the Final Fantasy set is coming out here. We're getting a couple versions of Vincent Valentine, but I'm going to concentrate on the black one today. Let's chat about it, but first, subscribe to the channel, brother. This is where it all goes down. People say they enjoy the deck text, they enjoy the banter, the talk of extreme manliness. We got that masculinity here, but it's not that toxic masculinity. It's the opposite of that. I use my giant muscles, my rugged manliness to lift people up. Sometimes literally. And that's what's going on with Vincent Valentine too. He's a skinny dude, but he's a helper, man. He's helping your opponent's creatures into the graveyard. Alright, check this out. Vincent Valentine is 2 black, legendary creature assassin. It's a 2/2. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a number of +1/+1 counters on Vincent Valentine equal to that creature's power. Whenever Vincent Valentine attacks, you may transform it. Transforms into the Galleon Beast. It's a 3/2. It has trample and lifelink. And when it dies, return it to the battlefield tapped front face up. This body is the punishment that's been given to me. I don't know if maybe that's Vincent's voice, I don't know. This is an assassin, has some pretty dope art. All the girls love this guy because he has that mysterious air about him. He's got those unnecessary buckles on his outfit, and that was all the rage back in the 80s and 90s, just ask Britney Spears. Vincent is an allegory for a man's journey through physical fitness. At the gym, brother, he starts all skinny and turns into a roided out absolute beast. Look at that backside, dude. He's got to be on PEDs, you know. Everybody says that body's achievable naturally. I don't know, man. Comes out in 2 months, he's not just eating liver, he's eating HGH, dude. Alright, so card-wise, what do we got here? It's an interesting build because he's only really got one chance to flip. That backside doesn't accrue counters, but the backside has trample and lifelink, and it's got one more power. It's one of those weird Voltron, huge swinging creatures you want to get really big. It's a black deck that pays off killing your opponent's stuff. That's all you gotta know. So of course I built the deck around this guy. It's about $100, but you could go cheaper if you wanted to. You want about 10 to 12 2-mana ramp cards so you can get this guy down early, start murking opponent's stuff. First thing you want to employ is edicts. Perfect example here, Sheoldred's Edict. It's 1 in a black for an instant. Choose one. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature of their choice, or each opponent sacrifices a creature token of their choice. Or each opponent sacrifices a planeswalker of their choice, which is kind of irrelevant. The non-token restriction can be a boon if one of your opponents has a larger creature they've been saving up their ramp and mana for. A lot of times, especially early game, there's going to be just the commander out there and a bunch of mana rocks. There's also these instances where the greatest power creature is a big token, one of those constructs, or a damn worm or something. I played a game yesterday, got harassed by a 5/5 worm token all game. Yeah, man, check this card out. Soul Shatter, 2 in a black for an instant. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the greatest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. This is exactly what we're looking for. And for 3 mana, this fits perfectly with Vincent. I mean, imagine whatever pie in the sky scenario floats your boat, but this is going to get your dude realistically 8 or 9 counters at the very floor of this thing. There are other effects like this, but this is cheap and effective. Zat's Will is a good one. It's 5 mana, but clear out those graveyards, blunt and recursion they're packing, get yourself a bunch of little guys, little blockers or whatever. And of course there are the Edict creatures. Fleshbag Marauder, Accursed Marauder is a newer one. It's only 2 mana. Such a good card, only non-token creatures. Alright, now we look for cards that cause mass carnage on your opponent's battlefield. Check this card out, the Mandate of Abaddon. 3 in a black, sorcery. Choose target creature you control, destroy all creatures with power less than that creature's power. It's about $5. It's a great card in a deck like this. It may hit some of your creatures, but if Vincent is out there, it can turn him into a one-shot if he's a big old 10-10 or something to start with. It's 4 mana, so you can probably cast an edict, grow your dude, then do this, transform on the attack. It's a fierce card, man. Abaddon the Despoiler, brother. That's despoilation. Now, unbelievably, Toxic Deluge is only $5 or so at this very moment. Again, this relies on Vincent being pretty big, but it's 3 mana. Get your dude huge, then Deluge. Alright, check this card out. Make an example. 3 and a black for a sorcery. Each opponent separates the creatures they control into 2 piles. For each opponent, you choose one of their piles. Each opponent sacrifices the creatures in their chosen pile. Piles, man. I love piles, dude. I just like making piles, man. Every night before bed, I make big piles of pillows. I have 4 king-size pillows on my bed and 2 little ones. That's 6 pillows, dude, plus a throw pillow just for good measure. Because 7's your lucky number. Anyways, man, this is a mob hit. Make a grisly scene, send a message to the neighborhood. You gotta throw them in the vats, brother. 2 black for an instant, has split second. Choose any number of target creatures with equal toughness. Destroy the chosen creatures. This card has some horrific art, man. It's straight out of the old games, which I loved. Such a weird card. Just aim for the head with all your VATS points. You know, that's what you're going to do anyways. This is a good card to decimate those token swarms. There are a couple cards like this that kind of give tokens -3, stuff like that. I was playing yesterday. There were 4 2/1 bird tokens on everybody's board. This can take care of that. Grow Vincent. And of course, we got targeted removal in black. There's targeted removal out the ding dong, brother. Take your pick, man. I'm a big fan of Curtain's Call for 25 cents, 5 and a black for an instant, but it's undaunted. So this is probably most likely going to cost you 2 and a black. Destroy 2 target creatures. There you go. That's some Mortal Kombat level of doom for the folks who have to face the wheel, brother. Busted deal, face the wheel. Just ask Tina Turner. Now, I've always loved this card. It's only about 50 cents. Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. 4 and a black, legendary sorcery. You may only cast it if you control a legendary creature or planeswalker. Put up to 1 target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and then destroy up to 1 target creature or planeswalker, and then exile this card. This hits any graveyard. It's 2 for 1, can maximize your targeted removal. Somebody's bound to have something juicy in their graveyard because, listen, man, you're killing everything. Now we want to pay off all that attrition with some cards that say whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, or whenever a creature dies like Sir Conrad. People forget that this guy's a 5/4 too. He's a fairly beefy dude. Fairly strong character. Look at that. He's using the power of the skull, dude. This glowing skull. If I had a glowing skull, you know, I'd be out there too, man. But I don't, so I'm going to stay in my bathrobe here. Of course, we have Massacre Worm. This card is like $1 now. 6 mana for a big old 6/5. When it enters, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2 until end of turn. If that kills a couple creatures, Vincent's going to get bigger. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. So we definitely want that. Now this is an old card for 7 mana. Grave Betrayal. 5 black for an enchantment. Whenever a creature you don't control dies, return it to the battlefield under your control with an additional +1/+1 counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. Creature's a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. This can be very nasty, but it's one of those win more cards if Vincent sticks. Vincent's going to be getting huge, right? Getting a huge amount of counters. That's your primary win condition. But this acts as a kind of alternative commander. It pays off everything you want to do with Vincent. So if Vincent gets murked 5-6 times, you know, it's costing 15 mana, just forget about it. Put this out there and do your thing. Speaking of which, speaking of Vincent here, Vincent needs the boots and the greaves, brother. Stick them in. They're the best protection you can get in these colors. Black has 2 infect surprises as well. Phyresis and Tainted Strike. In a weird Voltron deck like this, it lowers the ceiling on your commander damage. They're both auto includes, in my humble opinion, plus the boots and greaves, plus a soul ring and an arcane signet. Your deck's almost built, man. So far, this card is only pre-selling for a few dollars. I don't think it's going to be super duper popular. I don't think it's going to be a chase card or anything. But Vincent fits in a variety of decks. Kind of a compelling build around for an edict deck. Nice mono black budget deck. Mono color decks are great for your budget decks because you don't have to spend a lot on your mana base. But let me know what I missed in the comments below, brother. And remember, you may not be a sexy demon vampire werewolf, but you're a beautiful person. Yeah, some of you are anyway. Nikki G, Better Commander, signing off.